Hello YouTube, this is your man, your obscure YouTuber, Soundwave913, coming back at it with another video, another review. I know, very much shocking. And, well, what are we taking a look at today? We are taking a look at Transformers, The Last Night, Deluxe Class, Wave 2, Premiere Edition, Steelbane. So, long title aside, why am I reviewing this guy? Well, for two reasons. I want to start reviewing random stuff again, which I'm clearly doing because Steelbane is kind of a random pick out of the ballpark. And secondly, by the time this video goes up, this guy would have been shipped out to his new owner. So, yeah, there's that. And I kind of want to make this a series. I don't know what I'll be calling it, but a series where before I ship them out to their new owners of stuff I've sold and such, I want to review them. So there you go. And if you want to buy, yes you, the viewer, want to buy some stuff off me and just in general, the links for my eBay page will be down there in the description. So, yes, here's Steelbane. But before we take a look at Steelbane, he, along with, this line, is obviously coming from, Michael Bay's fifth installment in his Transformers lineup, Transformers: The Last Night. And, quick review, my thoughts on this film. It's absolute garbage. It's so bad, it actually hits Steelbane. So let me fix him up right there. A lot of people say Age of Extinction is the worst one, or Revenge of the Fallen. That guy. He's bad. The only reason I even own that is because my friend gave it to me for Christmas because I gave him Justice League. That is the only reason I own that movie. So, there is Steelbane's origin story from The Last Night. And speaking of The Last Night, let's take a look at this Last Night box art we have going on here. Now, this guy was part of Wave 2, which included Drift, himself, Squeaks, and a repaint of Age of Extinction Slug, or Slag as we know him. So, as you can see, we have a, well, I should probably, there we go. Pay no attention to the lantern right there. We have, well, CG renderings of the toy, how many steps, and, of course, it's made by Hasbro, as all Transformers are, unless they're bootleg. I know. One thing I do love about Transformers art packaging now is that we get this pretty good artwork of the character that I quite enjoy. And then he is a Knight of Cybertron, and his, quite frankly, amazing name. That is one of the things I love about this toy so much, is his name. Steelbane's just a cool name, man. So, there's his box. Well, the back of it, because that's a rule I have with my Transformers. I try and keep the back and some of the artwork of my figures. And of course, he comes with an instruction manual. Instruction manual. There you go. He is part of the Premiere series, which, to this day, still confuses me on why Hasbro thought charging $20 for these figures was a good idea. Because they're basically the same as Age of Extinction figures. That ran $15. Now, let me ask you guys this. What would you rather pay $20 for? Someone like this barricade? Or $20 on this? I'll let you all decide, and you can comment down below. So, enough with all that. Let's get to Steelbane himself. So, let's start top to bottom. Yeah, alright. Let's get him. There we go. Gotta get a zoom in on that beautiful mug of his. So, he is obviously a dragon. And, yeah. He is a dragon, alright. So, starting at the head, his horns are made of rubber. He's got some red eyes and an opening jaw, which reveals a red part, which most would assume would be a tongue or something. That is a gun missile. A missile tongue. Which is a phrase I never thought I would say, but here we go. And I guess we'll start with going with articulation here. Neck can move fairly good amount. Jaw can move that far down and collapse up. Horns can move all around. The neck part moves like this. It's kind of on a ratchet, but not really, like a soft ratchet. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. A bend here, a twist here. And we'll get to more of that in the robot mode. I do want to point out that I did not pay $20 for this figure, if anyone cares. But quick story, I ended up buying this guy from Target for $8 or $9, down from the normal $20. So there you go. Now we come down to is actually really cool looking wings. I quite enjoy like the texture and the design. And one little detail I like is there's a cutout triangle right there, which one would assume, oh, maybe that's Toy's chip, but it actually follows the line design there, which if you line up the wings properly, continues. And also it looks like, well, he's battle damaged because, you know, this guy's been through a lot with King Arthur. I can't remember much of the film. I've tried to block the film from my memory. There you go. His dragon arms do move a fair amount. They got a bend at the elbow, a little bit of movement all around, and the wings do freely move, kinda. Now, looking at him from the front, I'm gonna be honest, his dragon mode's a little weak, in general, just like very gappy dragon. And it's mostly emphasized from the front and the top. I mean, look at that thing. And pay no attention to his sword. You know, let's show this thing off. So, he comes with one accessory. This sword, which is a very cool accessory, actually. I quite enjoy this accessory. I mean, look at the detail. That's amazing right there. I love the detailing on him, and, you know, as you've seen, his sword can plug in the back of the dragon, and it is made of rubber. I mean, it's a little sharp at the end, but not too much. It's made of rubber, so there it goes. And we'll get to the articulation here, but more in depth, but there ain't much here. And then, I mean, come on, man. I mean, hands. And then we have a robot leg posing as a dragon tail. There you go. There is a dragon tail, and again, we'll get all the articulation besides the dragon tail itself. The end part can move just a tiny bit. So, overall, Steelbane's dragon mode ain't the greatest, but it ain't bad. And as a size comparison, he is actually kind of tall. Here he is with Titans Return Sea Spray as a comparison. And if you want a more recent figure, here he is with Bumblebee movie Bumblebee. Because Bumblebee, we gotta have the Bumblebees. But yeah, there's how he scales up with a Studio Series Bumblebee movie figure. So yeah, overall, Dragon Mode ain't great, but it ain't bad either. It ain't great, it ain't bad, but most importantly, it ain't squeaks, and that's good. So, transformation. Let's go through this. So first, move the horns down, remove the sword, fold the jaw up. Then, on both ends, both this end and this end, fold up the tail and the head respectively, and then move the feet into the position for the robot. And if it moves back, just move it up. Alright? Next, you want to take this part, which connects the arms and, well, the shoulder pads, quote-unquote, of the dragon. Move them up, and try and move them out of the way as, well, as far as you can. Come back here to these dragon legs, basically robot arms, and you want to straighten them out and turn the wrist this way, and then fold the dragon claw up. Do it on both ends, and we'll address that. Sorry if this looks a little blurry. I'm going off my iPhone camera here. So, you want to come up, you want to stand them up like this, and try and move the arms forward. Then, you're going to swivel this part down. Well, swivel this part this way, like this. Move the whole assembly down, and then, well, don't lock it in yet. you wanna move this part right there, swivel it that way so the waist all connects together, and make sure everything lines up for the robot legs, like that. Now we're almost there. You slide the waist down, well, not even the waist, the chest part down. It's a little tricky, gets stuck sometimes. Position the wings out of the way. Then fold the arms. Make sure that part doesn't come off. Fold the arms in until you can hear that, well, see them click in. And then, as for the back, the configuration on the back shows it where the dragon arms are all folded up. So that's what we'll do. Now, final step is make sure everything's locked in, and once you're done with that, we have, and finally, give him a sword. Or if you don't have a sword, give him a weapon of some type. He's a knight after all. Here is Steelbane in robot mode. And I'm going to be honest, his robot mode kind of sold this figure for me. So, let's go on one step at a time. So, his head is actually a selling point in this figure. I mean, look at that thing. I mean, I don't think you guys can really see, but he has blue eyes and just an awesome looking design for a helmet. And then the body itself is a nice shape. I love the detail and the texture on this figure. And then we come to the bottom, like the legs actually have like, you know, similar battleware to, you know, some of the Siege figures like Ironhide here, for example, with his rusty toes. So, there you go. And from the back, ain't looking great, but I've seen worse kibble on a beast former. So, there you go. And a plug for a any type of stand, like a flight stand or a Bandai Tamashii Nations Act 5 stand. There you go. There's a Jobby the Hong reference. Anyway, there you go. So, he stands quite well, I would say. Although, if you have the wings in a certain position, it could make him a little back heavy, but whatever. So, before we get into articulation, let's do some sizing up. Here he is with Age of Extinction crosshairs. My custom IDW Fulcrum using Titan's Return Scourge. Bumblebee. Sea Spray. Siege Ironhide. Last Night Barricade. And just for some variety's sake, a Funko Pop, in this case of Moira from Overwatch. So, as you can see, he's a little bit small. He does scale quite well with Studio Series and well, other Last Night figures. But if you want him in a Chug collection, I don't really recommend it. He doesn't scale up too well. And of course everything starts to fall over, but hey, what can you do? Oh, I know, be professional. That is something we're not here, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's get into articulation. You know, let's just address one thing about this figure. Him and his Toys R Us, rest in peace, repaint slash remold Skeletron have issues. You see this part? This chest piece? It's not doing it now, but it's very loose. These parts come undone, and this part comes undone kind of easily. Like, as soon as I unplug that part, it just falls to pieces. That's my main complaint with Steelbane. But other than that, let's get on to it. So, the head, it's on a ball joint. It has all the ball joint parts. His shoulder pads are a separate part. He can do a full 360 on his arms, in and out. A soft ratchet at the elbow and a swivel there. A very little wrist movement. Like, it's subtle. No waist articulation because of the transformation. I do want to point out this part is made of rubber, in case anyone really wants to know. His leg can move kind of far up. His leg does it way better. His, moves back a lot better. A decent spread. A thigh rotation there. Well, a knee rotation, technically. A bend at the knee, and his foot can go all the way up, down, and tilt. So, you can get, in theory, as I try and put him back together, you can get Steelbane into some cool poses, as this one here. So, final thoughts. Transformation is decent. Dragon mode's just okay. Robot mode's good. Stability is okay. Paint job's great. Overall, I would say if you can find Steelbane for a good price, I would highly recommend him. Well, I wouldn't highly. I would say if you like the... He doesn't have much of a Bayformer aesthetic for all the Bayformer haters, I guess. I mean, I'm kind of biased towards the films, even though I hate The Last Knight. But I would say a lot of the movie toys are quite good. But overall, I would definitely recommend Steelbane, and yeah, there he is in all his knight glory. So, yeah, that's about it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like the video, you give it a like. I'm just becoming a sellout every second. So, you know what? I'm just going to end this video. So, thank you guys for watching this video. And Soundwave 913 signing off.